Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Studio Series 86 Leader Class Springer figure. So we're going to have a detailed look at him in all three of his modes. Help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at the abundance of accessories that comes with him, so again we can see how you can use them in multiple modes. We're then going to do some proper comparisons with the other two uses of the mold, mainly in the robots, just so we can see exactly how much has changed. We're also going to bring in some of the G1 versions of him as well, just to see how much they've improved since the original toy. And as I'm lucky enough to have a couple of the Studio Series 86 figures here still, we can see how he displays with them as well. So as I start to pop all these away, I'd first and foremost like to thank Hasbro directly for allowing me to lend this figure to do a proper review on him, and also to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So we're going to do some first impressions first. Then, as I say, we're going to have a look at him in each individual mode after that, before coming back at the end, get all of the Springers in their robot modes and do some proper comparisons. Before we have a look at the figure itself, let's have a look at the packaging, because the Studio Series 86 artwork is stunning. There, of course, he is at the front. He would have been in robot mode, but obviously I've taken him out. We've then got the bust of him there, and then on this side, if it's going to fit in just about, there he is in robot mode. That's all the transformation process steps, but you've probably already noticed I've uploaded a tutorial already, and I won't be doing the transformation process on this video to keep the main length of the video down. And once again, if you want to see the transformation process, you can in the own video. Right, this is his background, and it is of course the attack on Autobot City, which again we will bring back in later on and do some posing in there. Right then, first impressions. Here's the figure itself, so you can already tell it's a bit of a different color scheme, and again I really do like it. There are some things which of course are exactly the same as the Siege molds. We're going to point out a few of them things which are different, I think is the biggest thing. So let's start off with looking at the head sculpt, which looks great. Now this actually seems to slide a little bit as well, rather than just spin around and look up and down, which is great. The shoulders do come out to the side. They're slightly hindered by these, but you can see there's a rotation there as well. This is on both of them, so if you want to bring them out to the T, it's borderline. You can do it. You can then slightly move this over like so, and then you can come right up even further. So if you just move his shoulder pads, you can then come right up, get that T that people want to. You can then spin this all the way around, completely unrestricted. You can see you've got a waist swivel. This is a little bit hindered by this backpack, but there is enough there for you to be able to pose quite a lot, to be honest. There is a swivel at the top of the bicep just before it flexes. There is a wrist swivel, and there is the new open fingers, pretty much similar to what they did with Starscream when they upscaled him. They gave him the fact that you can open and close the hands. Within the waist, as I say, we've had a look at that swivel there. It is slightly hindered by what's going on at the back. These are new on the back as well. You can move and adjust these depending on what you want to store on the back and what you want to fit inside it. So you can pretty much tell already from the back that the legs are pretty much the same, just a different color. Let's have a quick look at this then. So we can go right out to the side, we can come all the way forward past that point of 90, and indeed all the way back. With the knee bend and the bit of the hip bend, to be honest, you can see how that move there. The knee will go all the way back, and of course you've got a huge range of motion in the ankle, tilting, rocking, side to side, etc. The Autobot logo on the front looks brilliant. We've already seen that you can adjust these shoulder pads. You can also bring them forwards a little bit and a little bit backwards, not too much though. The wheels are of course all on individual pins. They go around no problem, and to be honest, he displays just brilliantly in robot mode, exactly like that. We're going to bring in all of these in a second. The instructions, to be honest, are quite, as I'm sure you can be, be well aware of. They're going to be quite long-winded, hence why I did the tutorial. I think that's it for first impressions though, guys. Let's come back and look at his first alternate mode, which is going to be the I suppose it's a space vehicle, not the helicopter, the other one, the car. Okay, then we're back and we're in one of the alternate mode, which is of course the Cybertronian vehicle. I've got the first siege springer here to do the direct comparison with as well. So apart from the color scheme being blatantly obviously much different, the front grille as well, which is of course his chest, is also different. The translucent blue plastic, again different, but this whole, I suppose, upper section at the back is again very different, because you can, as I've already pointed out, you can move these and adjust these however you want, depending on, I suppose, it's the accessories that you want to put on the back. In the instructions and in that picture there, you've got these popped into the back, which looks a little bit odd to be fair, but this is just slightly up, so it's sort of holding them into position. But it doesn't, it just still swings around. So what I would probably do is put the large gun on the roof like so, because that will fit in there, and then we can also attach the two smaller guns if you wanted to the side like that, which I think powers him up and indeed makes it look much better, in honesty. In answer to the person who in the comment who said about the fists, yes, unfortunately you can still see the fists there, although I don't know if there is, I mean, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, it is, it's the same, with the obviousness of, unfortunately, the fists being there. The back looks pretty much the same. As I say, the wheels are all on individual pins, they do go around no problem. Everything seems to maybe tuck away that little bit better as well under here. You see how these go out and fold in? That looks again completely different. They did say that they changed a lot of the chest, and this is the inner workings of the chest, which again you probably saw on the transformation process. Legs look exactly the same to me. If I bring in the original G1, this again is a great homage to the original G1, because you can put the huge blaster there on the top as well, which is exactly what we've got there. And of course, because you've got so many more accessories, you could put them on there as well if you wanted to. And of course, because they're all blast effect compatible, you can then do and loads more things as well, to whichever floats your boat. There's so many different things that you can do with these figures. With regards to some size comparisons, that is the Stranger Things van. This is the Takara Ghost Starscream, which was a Voyager class that they did upscale to leader at one point as well. And then we've got the very long and I've been using him for some time on my channel as, I suppose, a marker because of how big he is as a deluxe figure. I think with regards to this particular mode though, there's not much more to show you. Again, if I wanted to, or if you wanted to, you could actually, could you attach that? You could also, yeah, you can. You could attach the huge bomb. That I wasn't expecting it to stay in because it doesn't have a 5mm port, but it will rest there. You could also then, by the looks of this, yep, in all these new ports, it looks like you can attach the giant bomb into any of them. And of course, if you wanted to, you could also attach the sword like that again, which is a bit of a homage to G1. But as I said, guys, I think that's pretty much it to show you with regard to this particular mode. Last couple of quick looks with this. We're going to come back now, and he's going to be in his helicopter mode. Okay then, so here he is in his second alternate mode, which is of course the helicopter, and for this I've got the Wreck and Rule to do the direct comparisons with. And again, I suppose, I know it's just accessories, but you can already see that the rotor blades are in fact very different. All the chest parts we pointed out in the other previous part are of course exactly the same, as in the differences are the same, and there's not much more apart from this center section here, which I said, and I've folded these fully down now just so you can get and spin this all the way around. Once again, if you wanted to, you can lift them up, but they do pose a hindrance. I think, as I say, it's just the points there. There might be a few more differences which we can have a look again when we get to robot mode. We're going to have exactly the same differences underneath when we look there. As I say, all of the different folded out parts that do become the chest, etc. The legs transform exactly the same, and it's just that the upper part is slightly different. In fact, funnily enough, on the Hasbro Pulse website, as I said, in the transformation process, they've got this wrong. They've got these still in the place where it would be for the buggy. This does just about clear that. You could, if you wanted to, I suppose, if you wanted to do some pictures and you didn't want the blade to keep moving around, you could attach that there. I know a lot of people like to do some, you know, stop motion or etc. You could attach that there and it wouldn't move whatsoever. But of course, for play factor, you need it there. With regards again to some of the other weapons, I think, can we pop these on the sides? Yeah, you can pop these on the sides exactly like you could with this particular version, but we are missing the 5mm ports on the top to be able to recreate exactly the same as that. With regards to, I think, some of these ports here though, so if we wanted to, you could you attach the sword? Oh no, maybe it doesn't fit there. I thought it was one of them same size holes, but it's not at all, so we couldn't attach that. I think we could, yeah, you could attach it to the side. It wouldn't hinder it, would just about clear it. There's so many things, as I say, I think that you can do with all of these accessories for that reason. And of course, let's be honest, that's why they've included so many of them, just so they can bolster up the price point. So all the new engineering goes into it, and they've put a load of accessories. That's the G1, which again, you can see it's a great homage to pretty much the same. This folds out, the legs fold out. It's just such a clever homage to the original. I'll bring in Starscream again, just to give you an idea of how big he is compared to that. I don't really think there's much more to show you. I think the things that most people want to see, and again, please do leave a comment if you think there's anything I've missed out or you want me to see and go back and do. I do my best to answer them all and get around to it, but I think what we need to do now is get him back in his robot mode and have a look at the main differences. I've just realized something else that you might be able to do, because of course the fists are still visible. I suppose if you've got one of them flight stands, because obviously you wouldn't be able to, no, it doesn't work. I thought it might have done, but I was just looking at it and it doesn't really work. But there you go, last quick final look. That is the helicopter mode. Let's come back with him in his robot mode and do all the relevant comparisons and display ideas. Okay, then back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and I'm pretty sure that this is what a lot of people want to see, so I'm going to do my very best again to point out all the really noticeable differences. As we saw in the other mode, you can obviously see the chest is retooled. It's completely different shape, everything compared to these. The shoulder pads are different as well, in the fact that you've got the extra cutouts there as well. The waist section looks pretty much the same, but obviously the chest pad kicks in slightly differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these all 90 degrees like they do in a bodybuilding show. Turn them 90 degrees each time, then you're welcome to pause and, you know, scrutinize this as much as you want. I know that a lot of people do want to see this. Again, just to show you the back of this, you can slide these on their own little hinge all the way up as well. It just depends on how many things you do want to store on the back of this particular figure. That's the shoulder pads down there on this. That one's folded up as well. You can move all of these around. So that's the back. Again, quite a bit different. I'm trying obviously to point out things apart from the really obvious color changes on them all. You can also see that the molding detail now is very different on the thighs. This one's just smooth. This one's got the added extra mold detail. What I'm pointing at is, you can see there on the thigh just under the knee, this one's completely smooth, that one isn't. So to be honest, there is quite a few. I know that people are still going to, you know, say, is it worth the, you know, the additional money to get it into a leader price point? Exactly the same as they did with Starscream, and it's a perfectly valid point. But I think, you know, we're coming to the point now, you know, where we get all the extra engineering and we pay that little bit more for it. The really obvious thing on the front again is the hands, the fact that you can open and close the fingers. The four of them, they are joined. It's not as if they're all individual. I think that's pretty much it with regards to them comparisons. The other good thing that I do really like though is, because of this, there is so many different accessories. You know, with all of these, you've got the opportunity, and this is what I do, and people ask me, why do I buy multiple modes? Sorry, multiple versions of the exact same mold. You get the opportunity to display them all differently as well, and you know, you really can display the new one, I should say, with a lot more different accessories. So I'm going to do my best just to run through most of them, probably not all of them, because I'm sure you don't want to see me going through every single combination. So I like to do that with the Wreckers one and that with the Siege, but let's move that out of the way for now. Let's very quickly bring this up. Now, I'm usually not very complimentary about these, and that's the way I'm going to stay. I don't really like them. I do think that they're a waste of time and money. I appreciate maybe not for people, and let's be honest, they came in very useful for me to do my makeshift reviews in the hotel room over the MCM Comic Con weekend. But otherwise, for me, it's, you know, it's not, I don't think it's good enough, because it's, I don't know, I just don't like them. They don't really work for me, but I can see the usage of them now. And as I said, I did put mine to really good use over the weekend. Right, let's have a look at some of the things then. Now, this is also where I've got to apologise, because I've got a vivid memory now of when we were packing up, I didn't pack the Wrecker's hammer, so I'm so sorry about that. So I haven't actually got that typically. Right, you can attach these blades to the back there like so. You can also, if you wanted to, you can pop the bomb that will fit in there. There's all of these things that you can fit and attach on there if you wanted to store them. I don't really do that. This one's going to be a real pain, to be honest, to store or to hold onto absolutely everything whilst he's in this mode. However, you can put these on the side of his forearms like so. You can then put one of the swords in his hands, and then you can of course put his gun in this hand as well. So there's quite a lot that you can do with this. You might not want to do that. I just like to again show people exactly what you can do with all of these. To be honest, I will probably just be displaying him with his main G1 gun, unlike the G1 figure where I've got the very makeshift sword, which was of course the rotor blades, which again you can recreate of course with this. So I've just reversed the hands, and you can of course do exactly that. To be honest, that looks way better than I thought. Maybe that's the way I'm going to be displaying him. I do very quickly just want to show you this, even though I struggle to get it to hold in place. In the instructions, this is the picture of how he's holding the bomb. So because you can open up the fingers, you can grip around that part there. And then of course with the other hand, I'm probably going to drop it now. You can open, let's see, and it will, because I did it very briefly just in between the two videos just to make sure that I could. And as I say, typically now it's not going to work, but it does. I assure you that it does work, and I don't want to waste any more of your time, and you don't want to waste any more time watching me trying to attach it. But that is a lovely little gimmick that you can do with it. You can also, as I say, pop it into pretty much any one of these, not one of them, any one of these cutouts, which are either on the front or on the back. So there's loads of weapon storage also there. You can as well, if you wanted to, you can bring this out to fold these just as an extra part. It's got that in the instructions, to be honest. I'm not 100% why. And you can bring this around and then attach other things there as well to have this coming underneath as a bonus weapon. Again, I won't be doing any of that. I'm just going to be having him pretty standard. Right, let's bring in a couple of other figures then, just to see how he looks and displays with them. Let's get him to stand up. He's got so many points of articulation. I think that's a legitimate ab crunch as well. Oh no, it's not. It's where the hips move. I thought that was an additional bit of articulation I'd found. Right, let's bring in some other figures just to give you an idea first and foremost. So I'm going to do this, even though I know a load of people are going to not be happy, because again, these are Voyager class figures and they're sometimes a little bigger than him maybe. But I wanted to do that again, just to be fair, just to show you some of the comparisons. Here is the Netflix Prime, which we'll do for now until we of course get the main one. Here is Voyager Soundwave, rather. I was going to say Shockwave, but it's not. That's the Shockwave. I wonder if that's the same as what we'll get for the Studio Series. That's from the Takara gift set, which in my opinion is lovely. Right, last couple of figures then. Here is Leader Class Swoop. Video coming up of him pretty soon as well. And then finally, where is he? Little Bumblebee. And again, I'm going to be doing a full comparison video with him and the Netflix one and the others now that I've got him and I'm able to do more figures with him. Right, I think that's pretty much all there is to say about this particular figure. Hopefully I've done him justice. If there's anything I missed out, obviously let me know. I'm human, I make mistakes, and I'll get around to doing any other videos that you want me to do on him as well. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Take care.